Alrighty, so today I'm going to be doing my presentation called One Decision. It's quite cool how much of an impact one decision can make to one's life. So Sean from Ritter IT Solutions, here we go. I like to start with the family. So a lot of you have met Lee. Lee is also my mum. I have been brought up by a family of 4, so I have both mum and dad, and I also had both sets of grandparents growing up. And without any of those people, I wouldn't be where I am now. So, growing up, I had a fantastic love of computers and anything technical. If it wasn't nailed down, I was going to pull it apart. And there was no way, nothing was ever going to stop me from getting into Poppy's shed. I always ended up in there, no matter how hard he tried, I ended up in there. Yeah, he never succeeded with that ever. Nothing is impossible. So as a toddler, mum and dad tried to put a child lock on the oven door because I used to put toys in there, and yeah, you don't want toys in an oven. So yeah, they tried to put this on while I was asleep, and I went out when I woke up on a morning stroll around the house, stopped, looked back at the oven, and went, hang on a minute, that's not right. I didn't just unlock it, I removed it in less time than it took dad to put it on. So I've always been a little bit on the technical side, always my entire life. I was a very cheeky little guy. So with that in mind, in school, I did graduate from primary school. I never enjoyed school. I was withdrawn in high school in grade 9. I left third term and had to do homeschooling for 1 year afterwards to meet the legal requirement to leave. From that point, I did some just study on my own for about, what was it, 4 years. I studied on my own, just learning about computers and web development and things. In 2016, I met a person in a game who had the chance to not team up, and he did. And through that person, I met a heap of other people who taught me how to do web development. So I built my own website. I built all of my own websites up to this point, and that's where my journey started in tech, primarily, 2016. In 2018, I was in a bit of a dark place, and it wasn't a very fun time nearing the end of that year. And I had been in the house for quite a while, and mum suggested, well, I should probably leave the house at some point. So we decided to go to Officeworks. And after a lot of and ahhing, I made the decision to go to Officeworks to run some errands. While I was there, dad suggested, gee, you should get a job here. They've got stationery, pens, and all the computery stuff you enjoy. So I'm like, yeah, all right. And for the first time in my life, I decided to go and do something a little bit courageous. And I went and found a manager and asked, well, how do I get a job? And at the time, I had hair that was buffy, and it was down to my shoulders. I had an afro. It was big. And I had no skills behind me. I had no education behind me in terms of like schooling or anything like that. I just had a little bit of tech background, and that was it. A week later, I was going to get my first job, Officeworks, where I worked for nearly 5 years before leaving in the middle of this year. Last year, where I left in July, and that was up 4.5 years. I gained all of my skills in customer service from there. I gained all of my public speaking ability from there. All of my, at that point, technical knowledge had been from Officeworks, and without Officeworks, I wouldn't be where I am now. And all that stems from that one moment in time of saying, yeah, all right, let's go to Officeworks. Let's get out. I'll go and have a look at that. And that's all it takes. One decision can make your life entirely different for the better. It's very important to look at those events and really take them when they arrive. After school, I never wanted to study again. I swore that I never do it again. And after I got my job in Officeworks, I decided, well, let's go and do some study. Let's try and do it again and do it properly. So I did. I went to TAFE and said, I want to do a web development diploma online only. And they're like, nope, that's not happening. So we decided to do a Cert 3, which meant that I wasn't in debt. I didn't have anything on my record if it didn't go to plan, and we could see how my study was going to go. Because I never did it. I never studied in class. I never did a test in my life. I flew through that course, top of the class, and did exceedingly well to then go straight into a diploma of networking, where I picked up more of my skills for this, hopefully to start this business. And that was in 2020. I finished that at the end, started this business, and then 6 months later went straight into cybersecurity in TAFE as well. So now I have 3 tertiary qualifications under my belt, all succeeding. And who would have thought that a guy who never finished school with no social background could achieve what I'm doing right now with that level of confidence. So after that, I launched my business in 2022, January, where I built my own website and got everything going. And the goal of this business was to make things right. During my time at Officeworks, I had a lot of horror stories of people doing nasty things in IT. And it's very easy to say, hey, no, you should buy this thing because it's very, very, very good and you should buy it. A lot of the time it's wrong. I wanted to give the best advice I could. So I started my own business. And the goal of this business right now is to become a hub where I can deliver any solution that's needed and drop down different subsidies. The name Ritter IT Solutions is an umbrella name. So I can put any kind of name I want under it and run it under an IT space. So that I hope to achieve in the next 10 years. So I've got a lot ahead of me. So final conclusions. Success is not about following a pre-made path. Sometimes you really do just need to pave your own. Thank you very much, Sean from Ritter IT Solutions. Thank you.
Just do a quick Q&A because we have a few more minutes. Does anybody have any questions IT related? I know you have a question about some apps with photos and things.
We've got a meeting up.
Perfect, great, excellent.
What type of people or businesses are your core clients?
So I'm looking for businesses that are small to medium. As time goes by, I'll be to tackle bigger networks, but right now, anything under the size of an IGA, I can assist with, essentially.
How many people are you
So around 5'10" would be my medium size. Limit would be about 20. And I think that would be about it. Anyone between 10 and 20 people.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Sean, I'd love to hear a story of a client that you've helped recently. If you have a great example to share with us.
So I do actually have one. I don't remember what it is. So I worked with a larger company over the last few weeks, and a lot of the problems they provide me are quite the challenge. And they usually require a lot of out-of-the-box thinking to get them to work. I've been working with them now for around 6 months, and it's very, very enjoyable to work with them. They are always very, very fun, and they're nice and very friendly toward me. Their last challenge was one of their mailboxes has 200 emails a day that hits it. And they needed me to find a way to allow multiple people to manage that one inbox. So the solution to that is an email management system where you can have allow people to be brought in and they can manage this one inbox through software instead of just an email program. So yeah, it's a little out of the box to get that one to work. But yeah, it's always good. They always commend me for my work. I need a bit more. There we go, thank you. Okay, so I have a client who I have never met. I've done 3 jobs for this person, I've never met them. They just leave everything on the front porch and say, pick it up. They pay me on time. What am I supposed to say? I've never met them. No, not in person. I've never spoken to them over the phone. It's only ever been a text message. That's it. Not yet. I'm sure at some point I'll find an envelope with it, but not just yet.
Is the name John Smith?
Close, but no.
This is how his career.
So do you focus more on hardware, software, training, or just a combination?
A combination. My specialty is software. So if you've got a software problem, I can generally make it better or fix it. And if I can't, I'll find someone who can. Hardware, I can supply it, I can manage it and install it for you as well. I can also provide training around different types of hardware that you might want and give you the best options available for your particular budget and your particular needs.
And do you work in both Microsoft and Google?
I do, yes. I focus primarily on Microsoft, but I can work in Google if required.
I'm just trying to think of clients that I can work with.
I appreciate that.
Do you work with Apple?
I can work with Apple, yes.
Do you like to work with Apple?
No. No, it's very challenging because what works on one might not work on another, and a lot of their parts are proprietary, so it's really challenging to source them. And sometimes they can be far more expensive than what most people hope for, and it's not my fault that it's expensive, but it just ends up being that way.
I already knew the answer.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Excellent.
One last question. What's your most favorite thing in your IT services that you do?
I get to deal with a different challenge, different problem every day, and I get to meet people all over the spectrum, and it's so much fun to do because I'm not doing the single one thing. I'm always off the coast, seeing new sites and things, and it always keeps my brain occupied and learning more. Every day is an improvement.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Cheers.